out there in Popcorn Dogs listening land. This is, of course, Popcorn Dogs, your favorite podcast about movies and television, and Reggie Ledoux.
Old Reggie Ledoux, that boy is no good.
We've gotten a lot of positive feedback about our Cajun accents, so we're going to lean into it. Tyler's already almost spelled Miller High Life all over the table, which
I blame Reggie Ledoux.
It was Reggie Ledoux. That Ledoux boy.
He do be spilling them high lifes all over the table.
No, yes, I'm Brad.
I'm Tyler.
We're part of the Hair of the Dogcast Network. Check out all of the other amazing shows because they're all great. And yes, we're talking again today about True Detective. Today we're on Season 1, Episode 5. I don't need to say Season 1 because we're not going to be covering the other seasons unless this podcast does last for 30 years. Then we will discuss 2, 3, and 4 at some point. But there's so many good shows. You don't want to hamstring yourself. I'd love to do a season of Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
Yeah, that would be fun. I did finish Season 2 again, because once I finished 1, I just rolled right into 2. 2 gets a bad rap. I enjoyed it. That was my third rewatch.
The problem is expectations.
Yes.
When you want it to be weird philosophical musings and a certain kind of Cajun mythology storytelling, you want it to be something and then it's something else. And I don't know, if you order spaghetti and somebody brings you pizza, you might be upset. But the thing is, you didn't actually get to place the order and you just went to the restaurant. The restaurant is much, I don't know, my analogies are all over the place. Let's fucking talk about True Detective.
I can see your soul at the edges of your eyes. There's a shadow on you, son.
You know why the story's always the same, 17 years gone? Because it only went down the one way.
Didn't he get you every bit of evidence?
What do you say? Life is a disease?
This is a world where nothing is solved.
You tell me right now why you're all over Cohle.
You want to see something? Get a warrant.
We are talking about Episode 5, The Secret Fate of All Life. Now, when we last left off, we covered Episode 4, if you can count, and that had the 10-minute tracking shot at the end of it, where Ginger was...
The helicopters fucking overhead.
Just that meme of Matthew McConaughey with the cigarette. That was the whole last episode.
I don't even remember where the meme's from, but it's from Pineapple Express. I trusted you, man. Fish tacos. Thought we were going to hang out.
So Ginger's been extracted from the trap house, and now they are going to sit down, and they're doing a deal.
Yeah, so Ginger and Russ are sitting at a bar. DeWall, we'll know the name of this bar later because it's the bar that Russ takes people to. The one bar he trusts everyone because it's one bartender. DeWall, Ledoux's cousin, big fella, he walks in. They discuss the trade, but DeWall looks at Rust. Nope, does not trust Rust. DeWall even goes, because, Rust is kind of running the conversation, and Ginger is beat up, quiet. You can tell he's a little...
Something happened.
I don't trust this. I don't know you. This is fucked. DeWall says, I can see your soul at the edges of your eyes. It's corrosive, like acid. You got a demon, little man, and I don't like your face. It makes me want to do things to it. Ginger, you call me again, I'm setting miles on you. I see you again, I'm putting you down. There's a shadow on you, son.
Which is probably my favorite, top 3 favorite lines in the entire show. Because it's not very often, that Rust gets hit with a little bit of his own medicine, And this guy speaking just so... What's the word I'm looking for? Cryptic?
And almost like uncomfortably honest.
Yeah.
Into perceiving someone what they're about philosophically. I could dress you down right now. Like Tyler's wearing this shirt. He's got this hat. You seem like a happy guy. Your soul seems like it's good. You don't look hungover today.
I'm not.
You got a spring chicken in your soul, bud. But to have somebody look him in the eye and just like, no, something's wrong with this fucker.
Yeah, there's evil on you. It's the corrosive eyes, and then
It's very much something Russ would say to someone.
yeah, and the line like "I don't like your face; it makes me want to do things to it" is
Ugh.
it perfectly paints this guy as an unhinged villain without getting into like weird incel Joker territory, if that makes any sense.
He is a monster, but Marty tracks DeWall after he leaves. He gets a call from Rust about it. He's like, you better not have fucking lost him after everything we went through. He's like, I got it. 2012 Rust claims, yeah, some old contacts told him the location of the cookhouse. Easy enough.
It's a lie that's so tried and true at this point. Russ has a CI or an old contact for everything.
More like false detective.
Am I right?
Got him.
So now they're going to sneak up on this crack house, the cookhouse. They're going to sneak up on this crack mansion because it's kind of what it is. Marty has followed them to the location. Rust shows up. He's still got Ginger in tow, and Ginger's like all tied up. So they leave him in a ditch, which is just hilarious. Poor Ginger.
I don't believe it's ever talked about what happens afterwards because they get into the situation. They find the kids. Is he still tied up out there? Do they just cut him loose? Like,
Maybe they went and killed him. No loose ends.
I don't think they kill him.
No, I think he probably escapes at some point and fucks off.
But who knows?
The only way forward is for them to sneak in. Otherwise, if they see him come in, they're all going to scatter. So
Yeah, it makes sense.
Rust asks Marty, "You ever been hunting, Marty? 10-point book, year before last, 50 yards. I'm not talking about sitting in a treehouse waiting to ambush a buck coming to sniff your gash bait." Damn. Talking about tracking.
Jesus, you're a prick.
Yeah. So
Sniffing your gash bait. Oh, man.
that's a new one. I don't know if I could say that. I say cunt on the regular, which is probably a word I shouldn't say as often as I do.
It's fine. I think it's actually just become more part of the vernacular at this point. Back, 10, 15 years ago, you wouldn't hear cunt in common conversation that much, but I hear it a lot.
Yeah, but gash bait has got a nasty ring to it.
Well, that is what a lot of hunting is like. Oh, here's the smells.
Yeah. Yeah, so they they have to track DeWall through how he walked up to this crack mansion, and Marty's dad taught him a thing or two about tracking, and Rust's dad taught him a thing or two about tracking, and this place is booby trapped. There's like tripwires and like hooked up to frag grenades. Like it is sketchy business walking through here.
Legit.
So they finally get up to the crack house, and Russ tells Marty to go back and call it in. He says he'll wait here. Marty doesn't trust him. He's like, "Fuck you, man. No, I'm not going nowhere."
He knows exactly what he would do.
Yeah. 2012, Russ says they were going to head back and call it in, but they were spotted. And shots start flying everywhere. That's not exactly what happens.
I love the cut to them just sneaking in.
Yeah, they sneak in like Bravo team style, just like run right up on the place. Ledoux is
Reggie Ledoux.
Yeah, Reggie Ledoux is a giant man wearing a towel.
They're big.
Yeah, and this part of the episode is perfectly suspenseful because it intercuts with them kind of talking about how they're staging things for 2012, the story that they keep saying. But they come up on the house and they're like, immediately split up and start flanking the house. They're like peeking through windows. We see Reggie before he sees us, essentially.
They have the drop.
Yes, and Reggie is a big man, and it's the fact that he's wearing a towel that makes it really gross and scary.
Yeah.
Because the last time we saw him, he was in underpants and a gas mask.
And honestly, however he wraps his towels, I bet this guy also wraps a mean burrito. He could like roll a solid blunt because that towel stays on.
It does. You know what the trick is? You don't just tuck the corner. You tuck the corner and then you roll the whole thing down like you would roll up your sleeves.
Yeah.
You could play a game of volleyball on a towel if you did that.
Well, he looks like he knows what he's doing in that capacity.
Marty cuffs him in front of the house.
Yeah, he sneaks in, gets him outside. My heart's thumping.
Yeah, because they have him at gunpoint, and like Reggie's not even scared. He's
This is Reggie Ledoux.
And DeWalt is in a trailer. He's still unaware that anybody's there. Ledoux says, "I know what happens next. I saw you in my dream. You're in Carcosa now with me. He sees you. You'll do this again. Time is a flat circle. I don't even remember if that's how he sounds, but that felt right.
I love Russ' response. Fucking Nietzsche. Get that shit out of here.
Yeah. Then
they're like, to think about him and DeWall and everyone else that has been touched by Carcosa and the king, the Yellow King, they all have like this ingrained so hard, these words. They must have been just drugged up, brought to these ceremonies at different points for them to all just like start
rewiring,
reverting to it as soon as it comes up. Even like the housekeeper that we see in 2 or 3 episodes, she just like,
you know, Carcosa.
Yeah, like it comes back. It's crazy.
Yeah, and then Rust is out front with Reggie, and Marty goes into another building, and he finds a truck, and he opens it up, and they find the kids in the back of the truck. Disgusted at what he sees, he marches directly outside to Reggie Ledoux, who is kneeling on his ground, and shoots him in the head, which is such a big fuck up and one of the biggest holy shit moments of the entire show.
It is a fuck up. It is, they had these guys, they could have interrogated these guys, they could have unraveled more of the mystery.
Yeah, and then DeWalt comes out of the shed and sees what's going on and starts making a run for it, and they're like, fucking get him, and he gets blown up by one of his own traps. So now...
Russ is also shooting at him, I want to say.
Yeah, they shoot at him.
I think that Russ might shoot the trap off.
You think so?
I think DeWall knows where the traps are, at least. So I think
that would be gnarly if you're right.
Even if he doesn't, it's him intervening that I think causes it to go off. But yeah,
Rust's face when DeWalt blows up is hilarious too, because he's just like, "Oh shit!" and he immediately goes back to Marty, like, "Get those cuffs off before the blood settles."
Well, and Marty, he's like, "Oh fuck, man! Oh, I fucked up." And Russ like, "Nah, man, I'm glad you committed to something for once."
Yeah, which is, I mean, he's right. Like,
yeah, and the dude did deserve it, but Russ like, "We got to make this look right." So he has Marty keep an eye on the kids, while he fires an AK, setting the scene. Because it has to look like a massive gunfight. It has to look right for when the cops get there. They both hold up their stories many, many times, many different, I don't even know what they would call that, where they sit down with all the different branches, and testimonies and depositions and paperwork. Russ and Marty carry the kids out of the woods. The boy had unfortunately passed less than a day ago, but the girl survived. The LSD on site matched Dora Lang. The two are treated as heroes back at work, and Rust, like, yeah, they come in, and what is Quesada says, "Couldn't you have gotten yourself shot too?" to Russ, but they're all like, "You're right."
Yeah,
it was friendly, but Russ is like him.
Yep, they try to offer Rust a mug full of bourbon, and he just like puts his hands up, shakes his head, and then like just kind of gestures to Marty, who
slinks off because doing your job and doing the right thing, you should be happy with yourself. But I don't know, is it something to celebrate? To me, it's the same reason I can't watch SNL joke about fucking the war on Iran. It's like, I can't laugh about this stuff. I can't be happy about it. What happened is a fucking travesty.
Yeah.
I'm happy we got a kid out of there.
Yeah, so then we're going to get a little bit of passage of time here, because the Dora Lane case is going to go effectively cold, but it's solved.
It's solved.
But it's not gone from the show, because if you notice, we have 3 more episodes after this.
Yes.
So we see Marty roller skating with his daughters while Maggie watches, and they're trying to patch things up.
He's doing the time.
He's sober. He's working on things. And I think the gunfight, or the theoretical gunfight, really helped Maggie warm up to Marty, as said by somebody on the show. Maybe it is Marty. Like, maybe that gunfight helped change her mind, because she says she ended up telling me I had a long road to climb.
Yep.
Rust is matched with a woman named Lori, who is Elizabeth Reeser from Hill House.
Yep.
And that's pretty neat. He's actually got a little girlfriend now, a little little normalcy for Rust there.
Yes. I don't know if this is that one scene where they're eating and she says he's conflict avoidant, so denying him it gives him energy or something.
Yeah.
They're both like, oh, shit. They are a good match. There's a really good deleted scene from this episode of those two.
Really?
It's one of the only the deleted scenes are really cool. This is the only deleted scene of substance. One of them is just like mad tracking shots of like locations, which goes on for like 8 minutes. I'm like, I could watch this shit all day. But this one is one of their like about to break up scenes where she brings up the idea of a kid again, and he says some pretty crass things about her and kids, and she walks away and he realizes he crossed the line. But yeah, that was one of the only scenes they seemed very like constructed, but they removed.
Yeah, and in this time, the hairstyles change to the, what we're going to get to 02, 01 is like the next big...
2002.
Yeah.
Yes.
It looks like things are going really good. It looks like the good old times. And in fact, in 2012, Marty says, do you know the good years when you're in them? Or do you just wait until you get ass cancer and realize the good years came and went? Because there's a feeling you might notice it. You might notice it sometimes. This feeling that life has slipped through your fingers. Like the future's behind you. Like it's always been behind you. And that is such a sad line from Marty, because it is a man probably gone through, or approaching a midlife crisis.
He's not doing well.
Yeah, and it's...
We learn more about how he's not doing well. We see where his life is in the future. Because he's doing good at the moment. But, yeah.
But 2002 is not a good... they've kind of been building this up, too, because we're going to start getting into the 02 stuff now that Reggie Ledoux has been shot in the head. There's always...
7 years later on.
Yeah, the detectives are always like, what about that thing that happened with you guys in 02?
The fight.
It's another way they just set up these timelines so perfectly.
And, Rust, he's become a legend for interview techniques. We're in 2002. Daughters are grown up. You might recognize Audrey as played by Erin Moriarty of The Boys.
That was her, wasn't it?
Yes.
I had to do like a double take.
And Marty asks her why she dresses the way she does and seems to just not understand how to relate to the women in his life. And he says, I just don't understand it. And she kind of, elaborates. You don't need to understand it.
Dad, Bullets by My Chemical Romance just came out, and it's amazing. I get her.
Yeah. Well, and it's him just, you need to accept people for who they are. And he just has ideas of people that he wants to kind of like, this is my daughter. This is who she is. And she has her own agency. She's her own person. She can dress how she wants us. Later on, he is driving her home. Audrey was caught in states of undress with two boys, both over 18. This is intense. And initially, his wife, she's on his side with it. But he speaks about pressing statutory rape charges, and Marty says, is this one of those things I'll never understand, being captain of the varsity slut team?
Crossing a line.
She responds with a fuck you. He slaps the shit out of her, and then now he has lost Maggie and Audrey even more so. Like, he could have been more tactful in this situation.
He just cannot control his anger. He has a pit of rage that boils in him, and specifically with the way he views women. He's already had the affair. He is kind of a horn dog. He doesn't have the best view on women. And when his daughter, for the first time in his life, his daughter is caught in a state of undress, or she might have been doing something, it's like his brain can't even comprehend it. It just breaks, and he gets angry at everybody. And it's so sad to watch, because he is totally out of control of the situation.
He is totally out of line. And 2012 Rust, there's this fucking monologue about the M-brain theory and time being a flat circle. He goes off about how those kids are going to be there forever in that trailer. It's just Rust rusting.
Yeah, he's just doing his thing.
Yep.
So then we have Southern Fried Pharmacy Firearm Friend. That is a hell of... I read friend.
That's a show. That's a show I would watch.
Rust is doing his interrogation thing. He is the guy that you call if you need a confession. He gets this man to cop to a double murder. And
He's pretty good. Southern Fried Pharmacy Fiend, they're calling you. That's nice.
it's a good ring to it.
A little long. Yeah, the guy cops to a double. You just cop to a double murder.
Yeah, and
I love how the moment he gets it, he's like, "Oh, and by the way, fuck you."
yeah, he's an expert at picking people apart, and he finds the insecurities and the fear of people, latches onto it, gets him to say what he wants, and then he's victorious, and he tells the guy, "Fuck you," pretty much. To which the Kentucky Fried Pharmacy firearm fiend immediately starts bargaining because he realizes that like he's probably going to get the death penalty at this point. And he says he knows who Rust is and that they never got the real murderer. He's still out there, and he met him once. There are big people who know about him.
Russ
And
is like,
fuck you.
"The fuck are you talking about? What do you know?"
And Rust immediately locks back in because he's kind of like, as soon as he gets the confession, he just like, you can see he just...
He's 1 foot out the door.
Yeah, he kind of lets it wash off his back, and he's like, "Fuck you, dude, I'm out of here. They're going to fucking kill your ass." But the moment Carcosa or the Yellow King is brought up, or Dora Lang, he is back in that room.
Because he says that thing specifically. He says, "I'll tell you about the Yellow King," and he's like,
That wasn't in the papers, sort of thing.
"Yeah."
So now Russ knows that this guy knows something that he doesn't know, and this sets Rust off. And Russ loses his cool and starts smacking the shit out of the dude, and the cops walk him out. And
This is the wrong move by Rust. He really should have kept a much cooler head here because we'll find out how much this blows his spot up.
yeah, because that fucks up their confession, first and foremost. It's inadmissible now. So now they have to figure out how to salvage that. So the cops are like, "Dude, just go fucking cool off," and Rust is not letting this go.
Yeah. And then Rust's like, "I'll be back tomorrow."
When Rust and Marty return the next day to talk to him, he has apparently Epsteined himself.
Yeah.
I don't think, you know what? I don't think he killed himself.
He could have. I do think that they might have been able to turn the screw on him enough because there was a phone call that he took.
Yeah, they might have forced him to, but I don't think he would have done it under his own volition.
No. He was forced.
The perp received a phone call from a payphone, and it's so like Russ is watching the security footage, and you just see the blood start leaking out after he's returned to his cell after talking to what I think they said is a lawyer. And so they track the phone call, and it's a payphone in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yep.
And Russ is the only one that's like, no lawyer's making a phone call from out here unless he's up to something.
Yeah.
And Marty's like, "Come on, man, what are we doing?" Like,
It's Miller time.
Yeah.
Not Miller time. He's sober, but
Marty doesn't want, I don't think Marty wants to rehash the Dora Lang thing.
he also doesn't want to buy into it. I don't think he's there.
Yes, but Rust, I don't think he knows that shooting Reggie Ledoux in the head and DeWalt dying ended the investigation, and they weren't able to interrogate those guys. Part of Rust still thinks, or he knows, that there's more information out there about the Yellow King and Carcosa that died with those two men.
The only real evidence is the LSD matching up with Dora Lang, and enough pieces fit circumstantially, but he's like, something's missing. And he kind of knows that.
Yeah, and he starts getting more suspicious about that task force against crimes against Christianity or whatever from 1995.
Yep.
And he starts like kind of digging more into that.
Here's some real police work for like good men.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, Rust, I strive every day to be as honest as Rust, but I'm such chicken shit. I couldn't say something like that.
I did have a funny,
When he slaps, I still think about how he slaps the shit out of that one dude who's giving him shit in the first episode. That's like one of the hero moments. That's up there with Rick O'Connell throwing a chair at Benny in The Mummy as like so cool.
the closest thing I've done to Russ in terms of honesty. I had a customer ask me, "What's your favorite beer?" And I said, "The Excuse Me Pale Ale." And he's like, "I'll take one of those." And I was like, "All right." And I gave him one. And then I walked away. And I noticed after about 5 minutes, he took about one sip out of it.
Yep.
Then finally his buddy is like waving me down. I'm like, "What's up?" And he goes, "Hey, can you just get my buddy a lager? He really doesn't like that." And I turned and looked at his buddy. I was like, "What'd we learn?" And he's like, "I know."
What did we learn, bitch?
And then I slapped him.
Dude. That Tyler Ledoux sent you. 2012, detectives start asking Marty about Rust and Billy Lee Tuttle. Tuttle passed away in 2010 from mixed medications right after Rust showed up into the state, because allegedly Rust has been out of state for a while. Marty demands to know why they're actually looking into Rust. They say he is potentially involved in a new murder, and they think he's the guy. Marty laughs and says he's been getting a read on you. He's like, oh, if he's been here, he's been getting a read on you, not you getting a read on him. The detectives confront Rust with pictures of him at the crime scene 5 times over the last month. They also say that maybe all of the previous crime scenes were contrived by Rust, and he is guilty of everything. They can't follow the line of reasoning, he claimed, which makes sense because
they've lied.
Multiple
times.
They had to do semi-illegal stuff that they couldn't be honest about. Rust doesn't get phased, says to get a warrant if they want to see his storage unit. He leaves, and Marty seems to admit it's peculiar.
Yeah, and
Marty at this point is like, I don't know Rust anymore. It's been 10 years. I don't know who he is. He's out there. If I haven't seen you in 10 years, you would be a very different person.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's like, I don't think this is your guy, but I don't know. Because he's got like a little bit of, I'm not sure.
Yeah, because Rust was a character when he knew him. You don't know many people like Rust. There's people, I have a couple friends from high school, which is over 10 years ago, that were definitely characters. Like they were standouts in high school and college that like, they're a little peculiar. They're a little different. I haven't seen them in 10 years. I don't know
they're either locked up or thriving.
One of them is in jail. I know that much. But yeah, over the course of time, you lose track of people and you don't know if they're capable of something. And
especially Rust.
Yeah.
Trying to imagine Rust for 10 years.
And the fact that Marty does have that little bit of like, fuck, maybe, is really telling because of like, they bonded a lot over the time that they were partners. They've been through the shit.
And Rust goes back to the original crime scene, different crime scenes where he keeps finding more devil traps and a nest of sorts. He keeps looking into more missing person cases, and he returns to the school that we see our man mowing the lawn outside back in the day. He returns to the school and he finds more devil traps. And that's the whole episode of The Secret Fate of All Life. A doozy.
It is a really good episode because you get the big shootout and all that, the big payoff.
Yeah.
But the way that they start to pump the brakes on the show and slow things down, let the passage of time tell its story, and change the dynamic of it entirely moving forward, because I really enjoy the 90s aspect of this show. It's really stylized, and honestly, the looks of the characters, even Woody Harrelson's toupee,
yes,
is very well done. But the characters change so much so quickly here that once we get to 2012, this little middle part of the show is like, it might be my favorite chunk of the show.
The 2002?
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good episode. And this was one of those moments, again, where the episode ends. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. Many shows you can speculate. This, it's just blind guessing half the time what's really going to happen next. Because you can't, there's not enough for you to make a really educated guess, other than it's going to keep blowing up bigger. Even like Breaking Bad, it's like, well, Walt's going to do something. Walt's going to come back. Walt's going to do this. This, I don't know. I don't think it's Rust, but I think shit's going to go tits up, but we don't know how.
Yeah, and they pepper in the big moments like Dora Lang and pulling them kids out, that fight in 2002,
yep,
and whatever's going on in 2012. You have 3 big moments, right, throughout the show where something happens at these beats.
Yeah.
So I found myself the first time I watched it trying to guess what happened at the beats.
Yeah.
Rather than like what leads up to it. And I get so enthralled in the lead up that I forget to even make a prediction sometimes.
It's the fact that the case seems a little wrapped up at this point, and the show has 3 more episodes where that's where you're like salivating again. You're like, what the fuck? The last 2 episodes have been insane.
And it's only going to get crazier.
If you have enjoyed this episode and you want to get access to the rest of the True Detective episodes and other episodes of Popcorn Dogs and many other episodes of all of the amazing podcasts on the Hair of the Dogcast network, please go to patreon.com/Hair of the Dogcast to get access to that. Special thanks to our Patreon executive producers, Phil Wright, Brian Ward, Ryan Christianick, Kipper, Jordan Hoff, Phil Just Red Bear Phil, thanks Tyler, Justin Melly, Just Sonic, Spetsnaz, Ejot, Tony Pepperoni, BG, Andy Bongwater, and Alexander Type 1 Error. We appreciate your support, and we'll be back next week for another episode on True Detective.
On the dusty mason,
My name is Reggie Ledoux.
the gloomy shadows grow.
Wait a second, is that the end of the episode?
I think so. Yeah, he goes into the school and finds the devil traps, and that's how it ends.
Oh, I flipped this around. Bye.